This presentation is part one of a two-part series on Walgreens and the drugstore industry as prepared by Team Neides and Park. In part one, we will examine the general environment as well as the industry's 5 forces, then conclude with a financial analysis of Walgreens and its direct competitors. In part two, we will conduct an internal analysis of the company, identify current issues faced by Walgreens, and provide possible solutions. Walgreens was founded by Charles Walgreen, born in 1873. At the age of 16, he began apprenticing with some of the leading pharmacists in the Chicago area, becoming a registered pharmacist in 1897 and opening his first pharmacy in 1901. Walgreen recognized the importance of customer service and wanted to revolutionize the drugstore business. He focused on 4 key elements: improving the shopping experience, providing excellent customer service, developing community connections, and creating value-added services such as food counters. His vision has not changed in over 100 years. By 1915, Walgreens had 5 locations throughout Chicago's South Side. By 1919, the Walgreens chain of drugstores had grown to 20. In 1922, Walgreens created the malted milkshake, which was added to the soda fountain menu. And by 1929, there were 525 locations throughout several states in the Midwest, New York, and Florida, all serving the concoction. Currently, Walgreens operates 7,840 stores along with 450 additional facilities throughout the 50 states, the District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico. The drugstores have certainly evolved since its beginnings. There is a very high level of competition within the industry, with chains such as CVS and Rite Aid providing the most direct competition for Walgreens. However, grocery and retail stores have also entered the drugstore business, increasing the intensity of the competitive landscape. Another key component to the industry has been the development of pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs, who process insurance claims for prescriptions. Contract negotiations with PBMs have become rather contentious over the years, with reimbursement rates declining each year. Because most prescriptions are processed with insurance, drugstores cannot compete on prices for prescription medications. Therefore, companies are driven to create innovative, value-added services in order to differentiate themselves from the competition and secure customer loyalty. We will now take a look at the external environmental forces affecting this industry to better understand the current situation. The general environment is comprised of key forces that influence the workings of an organization. Looking at economic forces, the drugstore industry is expected to continue its growth as the geriatric population continues to increase. In 2011, pharmacy prescriptions represented approximately $47 billion in revenue for Walgreens. Over 95% of this was generated by payments processed through PBMs. With healthcare reform, the impact on this revenue stream is anticipated to change. Walgreens has been successful in maintaining a steady growth in revenue over the past 37 years and is the leading drugstore chain in the number of prescriptions filled annually. Social cultural forces have driven the industry to focus in on the changing needs of customers. Walgreens has answered the increased interest in wellness and preventative medicine by providing specialty services such as nutritional experts, natural beauty products, wellness tours, and establishing the Take Care clinics throughout the company. Globally, the industry faces growing competition from online and foreign drugstores offering medications at great discounts. With the recent struggles of Rite Aid, talks continue of a potential merger with either Walgreens or CVS. The industry has also taken on e-commerce as its next frontier in business expansion at an international level. Automation and technology have greatly enhanced daily operations of drugstores. With online ordering, centralized pharmacies, and robotics, the process of refilling prescriptions have become easier and faster. Medication errors have also decreased significantly with point-of-sale systems incorporating barcode applications to manage inventory and improve workflow. The Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act of 2010 seeks to reduce federal spending by altering the reimbursement formula as calculated by the average wholesale price to the average manufacturer price for multi-source drugs. These changes in healthcare legislation will contribute to an economic unsettling for retail pharmacies across the country. Moreover, lobbying efforts by PBMs, pharmaceutical companies, and healthcare organizations are constantly in battle over issues such as reimbursement, scope of practice, and access to patients. Although the price has increased over time, as shown under column A for drugs, the reimbursement provided to pharmacies has actually decreased tremendously. Column G shows that the rate of reimbursement averaged 12.5% in 2000, but by 2010, the rate had decreased to only 6.3%. Walgreens is the largest drugstore chain in the United States. Its stores are located in all types of neighborhoods, serving customers from various socioeconomic classes and ethnic backgrounds. 75% of American population lives within a 5-mile distance of a Walgreens pharmacy, and the company serves 6.1 million customers on a daily basis in pursuit of becoming the first choice in health and daily living. Walgreens is reinforcing brand recognition by standardizing storefronts and layouts to positively impact the shopper's experience and increase customer loyalty and purchase size. The overall strategy is called Customer-Centric Retailing, or CCR. In efforts to decrease its carbon footprint, Walgreens has continued pursuing a number of sustainability programs, including designing its stores to meet the leadership in energy and environmental design standards. The industry's 5 forces examines the impact of various components on competition within the industry. The first of these is the bargaining power of buyers. The drugstore industry is primarily based on its pharmacy services, in addition to its front-end convenience store business. Because co-pays for medications are standardized, it is impossible to propose price differentiation as a means of attracting customers. Buyers hold great power as they compel drugstores to increase the level of value-added services it is willing to provide in order to gain advantages in market share. The power of suppliers is moderately high, as all items are purchased through distributors, and the cost of pharmaceuticals is primarily controlled by manufacturers. Recently, the ongoing problems with raw materials and back orders have greatly hampered the supply chain, which has resulted in significant price increases on many drugs. The threat of new entrants with comparable market share to Walgreens or CVS is relatively low. Instead, the source of emerging threat rests with ongoing speculation on potential mergers and the growing number of specialty and boutique pharmacies across the country, aimed at combining pharmacy with other services such as wellness, disease management, and beauty products. The threat of substitutes is constant, as multiple alternatives are available in the marketplace for similar products and services. In addition to drugstores, many supermarket and retail chains also offer pharmacy services, including similar discounting on drugs for the uninsured, store brand merchandise, immunization and vaccination services, and disease management. As a result, the inter-firm rivalry is extremely high. Chain drugstores as a group hold a little over 50% of the market share in prescriptions, with independent pharmacies coming in second, around 19%. We will now take an in-depth look at Walgreens' primary competitors, CVS, Rite Aid, and Walmart. All 4 companies demonstrated growth since 2009, although Rite Aid's figures are overinflated by the fact that they are still in the recovery phase following their financial difficulties from 10 years ago. We will compare the companies based on 3 key financial performance numbers. The first is the current ratio. As a measure of liquidity, it reflects the ability of a company to pay off its short-term debts using short-term assets. Both Walgreens and Rite Aid have seen a decline over the past 3 years. The net profit margin reflects earning potential. Walgreens is the only company to demonstrate a consistent increase in this measure. Rite Aid, although showing losses in revenue each year, has been able to curtail its losses recently and is now headed in the right direction. Similarly to the net profit margin, the PE ratio reflects the earning potential of the company, but in reference to stockholders. CVS has been successful in increasing the value of its stock. However, based on other performance measures, this may be more reflective of the perception held by stockholders rather than actual company value. For the industry, there are 3 key success factors: inventory management, customer satisfaction, and asset management. Each of these will be examined using the metrics listed in this table. Walmart leads the pack in maintaining a high inventory turnover and low number of inventory days. However, CVS is quickly catching up to the competition. The quick ratio is similar to the current ratio but takes inventory out of the equation. Based on these numbers, CVS has the greatest degree of liquidity. Walmart's percentages indicate that it may have difficulty quickly converting inventory into cash. This is validated by Walmart's current ratio presented previously, which has averaged below 1 over the past 3 years. Walmart may be investing too much in its inventory or allowing an accumulation of accounts receivables, thereby jeopardizing its ability to pay off short-term debts. Walgreens and Rite Aid have maintained higher customer satisfaction scores than their competition. Mail order prescription services in general have received lower scores for customer service throughout the industry. Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid have all increased their asset turnover ratio. However, Walgreens is the only company to have a positive increase in both ROI and ROE over the past 3 years. Rite Aid is lessening its degree of revenue loss, but is still experiencing negative returns. Each company has its area of high performance as well as those for improvement. Overall, Walgreens is in a favorable position. Its areas of improvement are inventory management and mail order prescriptions. CVS needs to work on its customer satisfaction scores as well as increasing both its ROI and ROE figures. Its stock has performed well and has benefited from a positive reputation, but its financial performance data indicates that the stock may not correlate with actual company value. Rite Aid is still in its recovery phase and has made significant improvements in inventory management and minimizing its revenue loss. It will need to make itself financially strong once again if it is to remain independently viable as a company. Walmart's greatest strength is inventory management, but this is also a source of weakness because the bulk of its investments may be tied to the inventory. Walmart needs to improve on customer satisfaction ratings and not depend on its ability to underprice the competition as the sole source for customer loyalty. Next, in Part 2, Dr. Neides will present an internal analysis for Walgreens and address the key problems being faced by the company in the current marketplace and provide recommendations to address these issues. Thank you.